Hello everyone. So if you joined this video, you probably want to know how to do a nice Mara pull without using engineering. And I've done this multiple times. Same run. So here's a 30-30, 330 mob run, 310, 332, 332. And all of them are pretty safe. Sometimes, depending if you not enter perfectly with the reset, you might have unlucky patrols like this one, 291. But other than that, if you enter close to when you reset the instance, you'll be fine to do this pull. So gear wise, I have complete garbage. There's nothing here of any specific use. I have a nature resist from Mara, so 76 in total without mage armor. MP5 items I find to be really nice to have, especially with how shit my gear is. I only leveled this mage purely for farming, so I won't be gearing it for raiding or anything. And this works completely fine for Mara. For consumables, since we're not engineering, we're not going to use any grenades or anything. We simply use one swiftness pot and one where is it? Nature protection pot. I always have mana and I always have healing pots with me just in case they're back up. You always want to have 4 of your gems up. And of course, this is sort of if you want to have it, you can have some healing pots with you that generate health. But it's just because you will take fall damage. It doesn't really matter too much. With this amount of nature resist, you can do the run without nature protection pots, but I use them just for safety. Expending half a gold per pot or something when you're boosting people is like the gold spent is like nothing to compared to what you actually make doing the runs. So when I start the run, I'd like to be pretty fast in the start. Seems to be the most likely way to keep the patrols nice and tight for when I start the run. So you can mostly guarantee that you will get a lot of mobs during the run. And I'd say this is a pretty beginner friendly guide since it doesn't require any professionals. But me myself, when I started looking into Mara runs, it sort of looks like a labyrinth when you first start looking at it if you aren't comfortable with Maraudon in general. But what you do is you want to blink basically on cooldown to get to the position. Here you always have this patrol. You can blink to either side of him. I just try to not get aggro. If you do get aggro, you can jump up behind these rocks up here and reset. So now I spent a little bit of time showing you that position, that maybe now the patrol's gonna be bad. Mainly what I mean with that is there's a patrol of rock elementals here that walk at this position and they walk all the way up. This is the patrol. I can mark them. And you want them to be around the Maraudons over there when you come there with when you're pulling. If you don't, it's going to be most likely like a 315 or 320 pull. Still good enough. I advertised this run to be a 300 plus mob pull, and as I showed you, most of the time it's going to be around 330, 320. And so you start the pull down here actually. Ice barrier up. Rot grip is close now, so I've been a little bit slow. So I guess we just wait. So this is going to be, I guess, a good run to see when the patrols aren't that good. We'll see. I'll still tell you when where the patrols usually are. So you do Blizzard on that one, and then I instantly blink. So we'll see this patrol up here, how it's looking. It's sort of the thing is when you start doing these runs, you'll quickly realize that the more comfortable you get, the less specific you have to be about the pulling. So I pull this one, the Hydra, with a wand. With my shit gear, I try to maintain as much mana as I can. Pull that one, pull this pack, and then I like to body pull these, and then blink. I fire blast this, and up ahead here we should have another elemental pack. There they are. So I want to get these before they actually get close to this mountain giant. So I blink, I Nova, and then I just keep running. Something to keep in mind if you have better gear is that you kind of want to use all of your spells close together, so you don't interrupt your mana regen. So when I blink, I usually want to also reapply my ice barrier if it's getting short. And a Nova connected with a blink or ice barrier to just maximize the mana you get back. So I won that pack and then I blink. I won this one. And there should be another rock elemental path here. I won these late. I see the patrol up ahead. So you want to Nova this patrol up here. Nova, and then I blink over. And I won this pack from up here. Reapply my ice barrier. And then we just keep running. Get this one. And you really don't have to be worried about the mobs being too close, especially not these little little snakes here. Ice barrier, fire blast, and then blink. And we're going to blink once more after we pull these borers. Wand. As you can see, this patrol is leaving now. I still might be able to get this. If he gets too close to the mountain giant, it is fucked, unfortunately. I won that. And we're fine with that pack. I Nova. And then we counterspell this pack. And then blink and jump down. Reapply ice barrier, and I usually pop my first mana crystal here. I'll actually have one of these running as well. And as this Hydra pops up, you want to hit the Maraudon, the first one, the closest one, with the Hydra, and hopefully all of them get tagged here. And I try to just keep these as long as possible. I need to start running now before the Hydra hit me. It hit me. Arcane, Explosion, and then Nova. I reapply Ice Barrier. If these get too close, I can just Cone of Cold them. Pull this pack, you can just Fire Blast. And here's when you Swiftness Pot. This is just to get distance, because up ahead we will be having to pull a lot of borer packs that are kinda awkward to pull. And the mobs behind it would get way too close. Also here I blink on cooldown, so I blink again and jump last second with the Swiftness Pot to get that little bit of extra speed. And I'd like to usually avoid this pulling this pack. I pull them with a wand when I'm a little bit further ahead. So I wand here, I target this borer, and I fireball, rank 1. And then I blink up here. Reapply Ice Barrier. Then I wand this pack. And you can pull this however you want to. Fire Blast, you can also stop and wand if you have a lot of distance. So I have a close Maraudon. He could silence me here. But I think it's gonna be fine. We face pull this pack. And we counterspell up here. And we blink over. And I usually try to jump over these in hopes of getting the mobs to sort of stop running for a bit. Let's see if they do it here. You see how they stopped? Because I jumped over those. They lost the pathing to me for a little bit. It gives me some extra space. And then I blink here. And I'll actually pop another mana crystal. So here if you have the option, you can start, usually when I'm close to this corner, I can turn around and I can actually blizzard here. But I'm not gonna do it. I feel like they are a little bit too close this time. So then you keep to the right here, you run up this, they are forced to path to this side, which gives you some space. And then you blizzard. And here you can really blizzard for as long as you think it's safe. to do so. You see one boar is already by. I waited for all of the hydras to get slowed, and then I blinked. And I also applied Ice Barrier, as I want to blink and Ice Barrier in together. And now I just want to regen mana. I find the safest way to do this is to blink on cooldown, so I blink again. And here, this part is where I see a lot of people use nades and stuff for extra mobs. You can get a lot of these mobs without nades. Here's another Dryad pack. Let's see where they are. It's a patrol. If they patrol on here, you just can't pull those mobs. So sometimes you'll be unlucky with RNG. They're up ahead. And if you pull those Dryads, the run is just over. It did not social aggro that mob. 90% of the time it will. But it didn't this time. It's fine though. I run up. I Nova in the middle here. I won this. And I let that usually social. Reapply Ice Barrier. Cone of Cold those. Blink over these. And I Fire Blast the first one there. These hit for quite a lot, but it's nice if we get a resist. That's perfect. That's extra mana for us. Nova here. And this one is going to hit, probably resist. There we get some extra mana. Fire Blast and then blink. I like to target the middle slime here. And just as Fire Blast rank 1 comes off cooldown, you Fire Blast. Then I Cone of Cold this mob. Fire Blast that mob. And blink over. Counter spell. And then when I'm past, I jump Arcane Explosion. And we jump down. Reapply Ice Barrier. Reapply Dampen. Then I run up here and I press Evocation. Then I target this mob. And Evocation is done. I Frostbolt. I run down. I Blizzard. I Blizzard. So unluckily this didn't pull. I think I was a little bit too slow in jumping down. They usually pull. Blink. Frost Nova. I Cone of Cold that guy. Wand this guy. Fire Blast this guy. Blink over. Reapply Ice Barrier. We have another Stunt mob. I jump Nova. Actually gonna use another Mana Crystal. I won this guy. I will Frostbolt rank 1. That guy furthest one. That social pulls that one, and then I Fire Blast the third one. So that they come to me stacked. I jump, Frost Nova. And I blink. And usually I like to reapply Ice Barrier here. And I usually run back to here. And I start the Blizzard, and the Frostbolted Treant should be sort of close to this pack. And as soon as I see someone get through the Blizzard, I just run. Depending on how many times you've stacked them with Blizzard, sometimes there's going to be the Maraudons in the end that are very, very far behind the rest of the group. But that's never been a reason for me to wipe. They're very simple to deal with. I run up here, I jump down and I blink. This helps the stack. And this time it doesn't seem like we have any Dimetrodons or mobs left behind. Blizzard here for some more stack. And it looks like a very nice stack. So this pull hasn't been perfect, right? There's been mobs I've missed. One mob didn't social pull, the other two up just before this didn't social pull. I apply mage armor here. But I think that's also a good thing to show, because not every pull is going to be perfect, and you just go with it. I'm pretty sure this is going to be 300 mobs plus anyway, so it should be absolutely fine for pulling and boosting with. All of the boosters I've had, been happy with the boosts, because this run is, if you ask me, quite safe. pull that pack, blink, Nova that guy, and then when I'm at the range, I pull that pack. I apply Ice Barrier, and I can Blizzard here, like that. Just a few ticks, that should stack up the pack quite nicely. I jump, and I Blizzard. I'm full mana because of the resists. This is where you pop your nature protection pot. And I usually also like to pop the ice barrier right about now, so that it'll be off cooldown if the mobs decides to be dickheads and just run through the blizzard and I take a few hits. Then I have it up to just reapply it during the fight in the start of the pull. So this is usually when shit hits the fan, if mobs decide to just run straight through your blizzards here. It will happen, but it shouldn't be the end of the world. I run up a bit more and I try to get, hopefully I get all of these. So the Maraudon got through. Actually a lot of mobs got through. I can blizzard those, a rank 1 blizzard. I got silenced. I ice block, and I fuck up. So that was a little bit unlucky. What you do here, you just take another lap, right? It's not the end of the world. See if we can get this a little bit better stacked. I think that should stack them quite nice. Yeah, that looks really good. So, if you ever fuck up the jump or anything like this happens during a normal pull, you don't ever have to panic. You simply just blink under, and you might have to blizzard instantly here just to get them a little bit stacked and slow them down, and then keep blinking and just take another lap. I haven't died in a lot of runs because you can just simply reset the pull and you'll be fine. So let's try it again. Start the blizzard. Let's see. I think, okay, we got everything. So letting that guy get through is completely fine. He can hit me for a bit. I jump. Let's set another blizzard. Let's see if anything gets through. That's really what you have to just keep an eye out for, if people actually run through. Jump up. Blizzard again. So we have this borer. I'll probably fire blast him when he gets close. At the end of this blizzard. Fire blast. I can afford to kill these sprites because I have a shit ton of sprites down here just giving me mana. And we can also kill off a little bit of those down here if we want to. Then it's just blizzard as normal. Make sure no one gets through. Reapply ice barrier. And keep blizzarding. It's all about trying to maintain the stack as nicely as you can, right? And also, when you start doing this, at least when I started doing this, this jump was quite annoying. And I think we'll do some jump practice after this, just so I can show you the different jumps you can do. And how I like to do this the safest way possible. I still fuck up every now and then. But I'd say it's mostly clean nowadays. So this Hydra is up here still. He's bugged on that corner. So we slow him and let them stack up again. But the run is essentially over. It's basically impossible to wipe now. What you have to be careful about is if you let the Hydras get too close to you here, and even if you stand, let's say I would stand like this, sort of in the middle of this pillar, it would not be, it might not be enough for the Hydras to actually path back around this way. So what the Hydras would do, they would run up here and they would start hitting you, and that is probably like the scariest thing that could happen, because if they hit you, they have thrash, they'll just fuck you up. and it could be a wipe. So this was a little bit of scuff pool, and I still got 332 mobs, right? And I missed a few mobs. So this just really shows you how good and how clean this pool is. I didn't even do it perfect this run, maybe because I'm recording. But yeah, it's very, very, very simple. So if we take a look a little bit at this jump here. So what some people do, I've seen some people do it like this, that they sort of just walk down here to this side, and then it's an easy jump back. However, you have way less room to let mobs come to you, because if you're standing here and a Hydra is up here, it's going to keep pathing. And so you have to be all the way out like this every time. And even then they might still path and start hitting you. So some people jump down here and then jump here and then they start blizzarding. And then they have to do sort of a weird jump back up and then jump up. I find that to be way more annoying than just simply learning the normal jump. So if you jump up on this part, you can be... I try to always be as close to this side as possible because I like to minimize the risk of a Hydra actually keep pathing to me and starting to hit me. When you jump back, I try to position very close to the corner, and then it's sort of a feel with just you strafe to the left and you jump, and you're going to land up on top. And this is a jump you should just practice this jump. And if you fail the jump, let's see if I can, like like I did like I did there, or anything similar. You simply just did what I did in this run. You blink, and then you, depending on how close they are, you just start blizzarding and you take another lap. So that's how you save the run. But yeah, this is not the cleanest 332 mob kill run. So my record, I think, on this run is 337 when I get all the mobs. And there are some ways you can optimize this. And of course, if you are engineering, there are more mobs you can take if you wish to. But yeah, that's the run. Good luck farming, and see you on the next one.